Hello, Gemini. Welcome. This is your monthly reading. I am Jean, and I appreciate you guys for coming and joining me this month. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. I hope this reading resonates for you. And for those of you who have been tuning in, welcome back, and thanks for being here again. So, what I'm doing is something different this month. I'm not doing the Celtic Cross, and I am using an oracle deck. I am actually using the Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And the focus is not just a general message. What the focus of this reading is what does Gemini need to know to feel empowered, to feel strong, to find your rebel yell. All right. So as you can see, I've already shuffled and laid out the deck. It's a 5-card spread, and I am going to be referring to the guidebook because if you're familiar with Alana Fairchild's decks, they are intense. They are very profound and have very deep messages. So I'm very excited to share this with you guys, and let's get started. Okay, Gemini, the first card is, what is the issue for you on a spiritual level? All right, and the first card that you got for this position in the spread is Portal of Light. Now let me refer to the deck book real quick. So what's going on for you guys in the month of July is sort of having that realization that physical reality is not as we know it, right? It's how we perceive things, but that time and space are actually not linear how we are experience it as humans. It's understanding that you're a being that is conscious on levels beyond the physical world. You're being guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space, and that will allow yourself to expand. It is safe for you to do this now. So what this card is saying is that you are growing in power and awareness, that you're becoming capable of using your healing energy beyond what is directly in front of you. So if any of you are familiar with Reiki, if you're I'm sure there's other energy healing modalities, you're aware that it is possible to send healing energy to distance through time and distance, to past lives, through future events. You can even send healing energy through future events. So what this is saying is that what's going on for you, the spiritual issue for the month of July, is sort of merging that consciousness and kind of merging with that consciousness and understanding it like on a deeper level. It's actually interesting because I actually know a Gemini who is a Reiki practitioner. She is a Reiki master and still has a hard time really getting her head wrapped around the fact that distance healing actually works. All right. So Gemini, for you guys, that's the current spiritual issue going on for you guys. And if you're more used to, the different types of readings with the tarot decks, or, what can I expect tomorrow? What can I expect, this month? What's something more tangible and concrete? The reason I am doing this is because, have you heard that saying, as within, so without, right? Everything has a spiritual foundation. That's the core of every matter. So if your life is in flux, if your life is kind of like, going up and down, and you're kind of on this roller coaster and things are shaky, that's kind of the outward manifestation of what is occurring on the innermost core level of your being. So I really want to help empower people through this channel. So I appreciate your guys' patience, and I hope you understand that these readings are to help you guys, get a better footing on a deeper level. Okay, enough of that. So this next card is what you can do to heal day to day. All right. Stay true and be in your power. All right. I'm going to read this one also I am familiar with the message, but I want to make sure that you guys receive the actual beauty of this message, because I really truly love this card. And I love like the blues and the greens in this card. Let's see. So this is the guidance for how you can best heal on a daily basis, right? What to keep in mind from Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday, etc. Remember that you are a sovereign divine being with spiritual authority and freedom within you. You don't need anyone's permission to be who you are and to live your life as you choose. That is your divine birthright, Gemini. Guard it as the precious treasure that it is. And remember that you are a divine being. So what that's saying is, it's pretty clear. Stay true to yourself. Be in your power. Be the authentic and genuine you, right? But being the powerful individual that you are, letting your soul truly stand in your power, it takes a very strong knowing that, yes, while you are standing in your power and speaking your truth, living your truth, part of that power and authority is knowing that your truth is not necessarily other people's truth. They also have their own truth. They also have the right to stay and be in their power, right? So what this card is saying is that on a daily basis, to truly be strong, to truly be empowered, is to know that you don't have to prove or show or justify why you are right, why you are being true to yourself, and why you're choosing to carry out certain actions that are leading you to your destiny, right? And by doing so, others don't need to give you the same, right? They also don't have to justify to you. It's knowing that whatever you believe to be true is true for you, and your neighbor, whatever they know to be true, is true for them. It's not having to try and change their mind, right? Not having to try and tell them why they are wrong or show them why they are wrong, because that is not being in your power. Because if you can truly feel strong and be in your power, no one can knock you down. You don't need to correct others, right? You don't need to prove that they are wrong to show that you're right. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So that is the advice for how you can go about your day, right? That will assist in bringing healing energy to you on a daily basis. So that's the practical, tangible advice. Now, the gift or the outcome, life restored, Priestess of the Phoenix. All right. Again, I know some of these are pretty self-explanatory, but I do like to get the meat of these messages. So I appreciate your patience with me. All right, guys. So the gift is spiritual resurrection that's being gifted to you now. Whatever part of you or your life that you thought was dead is being revived and is going to flourish again into life. Just like the phoenix rises from the fire, transitioning from death into life, you too will rise again, healed and renewed. So Gemini, what this is saying is that for the month of July, the gift is sort of a resurrection for you, if you will. There might have been some sort of trauma, some sort of struggle and ending that you've been going through. And I'm feeling it's been a very silent struggle. Whatever you've been dealing with, it's very possible that you haven't been vocalizing it, right? Instead of asking for help, maybe because nobody could help, but that you've kind of been shouldering this burden on your own and just like plodding through, continuing on. And what this is saying is that The gift that is being bestowed upon you is the end of that cycle. It's coming to a close. Now, I'm not saying that, July 1st, everything is going to be peachy keen, or, on July 31st, your struggles will be done and over with. And that this first is going to be, sunshines and rainbows and unicorns. But what this is saying is that the end of this phase is over. And that could take, depending on your journey, days, weeks, even months to manifest. But that phase, that hardship is coming to a close. Okay. That's pretty optimistic. If I ever saw a card, that's very encouraging. So keep at it. It's not going to be this way that much longer. All right. Now this card is the challenge for you. Proper burial for freedom. All right. Give me a second. Okay. So, Gemini, what this is essentially saying is that while you're going through this rough time, it is going to be a challenge for you to let go of the old. That could be friends, could very well be I don't want to say outdated, but an old way of thinking. It could be an old way of living. It could be anything that you might have started to realize, well, maybe this isn't the right way for me. Or, I know that I was able to, live on 4 hours of sleep a night, but, I'm starting to get a little bit older and it just doesn't really work for me. I need 8 hours of sleep now, right? That's just an example, guys. But Gemini, what this is saying is that the challenge for you this month will be to let go of that which no longer serves you. It doesn't mean that you're wrong. It doesn't mean that the old way of thinking was wrong. And it most definitely doesn't mean that, any sort of relationships that you were in, any causes that you were supporting, any people that you were supporting, it doesn't mean that any of that was wrong. It just means that for where you are on your journey now, it's something that needs to kind of fall to the wayside, right? Kind of just slowly let it go. Release your grip on it, open your hands, and just let it fall away. Okay? Now, when I say the challenge for you, I'm not saying that this is necessarily going to be difficult for you, but it's more along the lines of like coming from a very loving place. Like, please step up to this challenge. Please take on this challenge, right? It's asking you to do the work to let go of whatever it is that is no longer in your best interest. All right. And then this last card is special guidance coming from your guides or higher self for the best possible outcome. And the card is Temple of Carnelian. All right, let's see. What do we got? Okay, Temple of Carnelian. You have such strength within you. It's time to trust in your own boldness and courage, taking risks that are true to your heart and that engage in practices that make you feel really, truly, genuinely alive, that are embodied and more of yourself. Even if it's not comfortable, they are going to help you live the life that you were born to live. All right. So the special guidance for you to help you resolve all of this is to basically start doing or continue doing things that truly make you happy. Things that make you feel strong. Things that make you feel happy, true to yourself, right? Proud to be you. This could be a number of things. If you're a guy and like maybe you've wanted to do, I don't know, something that's not stereotypically like associated with men. Okay, so say you're a guy and you like to knit, right? I actually knew one in the Army. But, you kind of feel like it's not really something to brag about or not something you really want to advertise to the world. What this is saying is be bold, be courageous, be in your power, and knit, for goodness sakes, right? Because it's not so much about saying, screw you guys, I'm going to do what I want. It's more about aligning with your soul's purpose. And when you engage in activities that like just bring out like that inner joy, I mean, you kind of start to actually literally feel like a glowing sensation, or you start to feel like, you know, some near your heart chakra. When I read cards, that's what I feel. There is like almost, I feel like there's a sunshine or like a flashlight in my chest, and I can feel it. And that's what the purpose of it is, to feel that joy, to light up your heart, to let your soul be true to itself. And you might not think so, right? But if you want to knit and you get around to just being like, I'm going to knit tonight. That's what I'm doing. I want to make this, I don't know, tablecloth. As you're doing it, you are going to be like sending out this energy that is going to be aligning you with your purpose and getting you one step closer to your true soul's purpose, right? Because the universe is seeing that you are in line with spirits. With spirits, I guess, kind of like what spirit's plan is for you, right? So you're in line with it. You're not fighting against it, right? But if, for example, you're a lawyer, right? And you're making a ton of money and you've got financial security and stability, but that's not in line with your true soul's purpose, like things are going to just keep like not working out. You're not going to get clients, or they're going to be the crappy clients, or they can't afford to pay, or you're going to find out that they're lying, right? That's if that's not in line with your soul purpose, right? Being a lawyer. But it takes that boldness and courage to kind of step away from the security and the stability and what is known, and engage in activities that are different, that are contrary to, you know, what people think of you, what people believe of you, or even what you think or believe of yourself, right? And what this is also saying is, well, it's kind of implied, is if you guys have any, interest in gems or minerals, carnelian, it's like an orangish, reddish, brownish rock. It's very good for helping with that base chakra, right? It helps with like courage. It helps with, stability and grounding and that sense of security. So if you guys have some, keep it in your pocket or hold on to it. It'll help maybe smooth that transition, or, give you that extra push to start doing whatever it is that you feel, is coming from within. Okay. So let's do a quick recap for you, Gemini. The real issue for you right now for the month of July on a spiritual basis is to kind of really understand on a deeper level that healing can cut through time and space. You're being asked to heal yourself, your past lives, your inner child, past parts of your life, or even events that are coming up, right? Because then when you believe that it's possible, then you can start doing it. So, maybe fake the funk or try it, send energy healing to the past. If you are not Reiki attuned, you can pray to heal the past. If you are familiar with any other healing modalities, do that. But the spiritual issue for you guys for the month of July is really healing through time and space. How you can best heal that in your daily life, like what can help you get over that mental block, if you will, is staying true and being in your power, knowing what's right for you is what's right for you, but not having to demean others or correct others or tell them that what's right for you is also right for them, right? Because what's right for them is right for them. What's right for you is right for you. Try saying that times fast. And the gift for you guys is going to be a spiritual resurrection, right? It's kind of like you're going through this chapter of an ending. I don't want to say a page. It's more like a chapter because it's going to take a bit to get through, but you're in that chapter of your life where things are starting to turn around. And remember, it's not a day process. Imagine like you're steering a giant boat through the ocean. It doesn't turn on a dime, right? It takes a lot of energy, both physical and non-physical energy to shift that big boat, right? So have faith, but that is what is being bestowed upon you, is the ending to these struggles that you have been shouldering. All right. And the challenge for you, Gemini, for the month of July is to really let go. Give me a second. I kind of want to show you guys this. So you see this beetle, right? It's a scarab beetle. You are going through a change, right? Resurrection, if you will, transformation. Like the phoenix rising from the ashes, you're going through the cycle, and through death, there will be rebirth. That is your gift. However, you have to be able to shed that old skin in order to be reborn. And that's what the challenge is for you guys for the month of July, right? You have to let it fall away. Let the old just go on the wayside, and you just keep on trucking on. So that's the challenge for you guys. And then lastly, the special guidance, it is for you to kind of take a step and be more aligned with your true soul purpose by engaging in activities that you feel are more in line with you, right? It's not saying that like you just quit your career and knit sweaters from morning until night, but maybe after your 9 to 5, instead of going to, happy hour with friends, or instead of the book club that you're kind of getting bored with, do your passion. Do what excites you and makes you happy, all right? Okay, Gemini, I really hope that this message resonates with you. I'd love to hear any feedback that you guys have about the readings. Again, I appreciate all the likes and the shares and the subscribes. It really supports the channel and really gives me feedback that you guys are resonating with these messages and really being able to glean some insight and clarity into it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful month. Bye.